Yeah, we're going to take a break. It looks like the Fever are heading back to the locker room.
Indiana Fever playoff chances are in jeopardy after losing to Golden State. In a game that will haunt Indiana Fever fans for weeks, the team's playoff hopes took a severe hit after falling 75-63 to the Golden State Valkyries on Sunday night.
To start out with shot clock issues in the first quarter, do you think that affected the rhythm of the games? How did you try to help the team with that?
I mean, it certainly affected the rhythm of the game. I don't know if it, affected the readiness, at all. But yeah, I mean, it's disruptive. It's not something that you expect to see. But we often talk about controlling the things that we can control, and when we couldn't control that, so staying warm, and staying engaged. And I thought that we did what we could to work through the issue, and kudos to everybody that had a hand in at least working it out. But then we came out and we weren't ready those first 5-6 minutes of the quarter.
Ariel pointed to the defensive miscues, and the Golden State started 7 of 8 from
Mm-hmm.
they got over 50% from the field.
Yep.
Just what were they able to do to avoid it?
Well, they're really good at spacing the floor. Their passes are on time and on target. So you can't make a lot of defensive mistakes. And I felt like we overhelped. I mean, we were trying to not allow catch and shoot threes. We didn't want to overhelp on drivers. We overhelped. We over-rotated. The timing on our rotation wasn't very good, and we gave them wide open catch and shoot threes. And they are a really good team when they can get that.
You talked about how defense turns into offense too. 33% from the field today.
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of connected to it, the defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're always taking the ball out of the net, it's tough to get some easy ones in transition. It's tough to get them in rotation. And they're also an excellent defensive team. And so sometimes if you don't take your easy read, it becomes a little bit more difficult. I just felt like we weren't aggressive. We were very tentative offensively. We didn't play with any kind of pace. So even when we had opportunities to run in transition, we were jogging the ball up the floor. We allowed them to set their defense, and they're one of the best defensive teams in the league, and you can't allow them to do that.
The loss dropped the Fever to the 8th and final playoff seed, leaving their postseason future hanging by a thread with just 4 games remaining in the season. From start to finish, the matchup was marred by chaos, with repeated shot clock malfunctions, extended delays, and questionable officiating leaving fans frustrated and players struggling to find rhythm. The first half alone stretched to an astonishing 92 minutes, nearly as long as a full WNBA game, due to 5 separate clock stoppages, 4 timeouts, 4 reviews, and 2 referee-initiated challenges. The league attributed the technical issues to a power outage earlier in the day, which forced temporary baseline shot clocks to be installed and disabled the over-basket clocks entirely. The interruptions wreaked havoc on Indiana's flow, with the Fever shooting just 35% in the opening quarter while Golden State drilled 7 of 8 three-pointers to establish an early lead. Offensively and defensively, Indiana struggled to contain the Valkyries' sharpshooters.
You guys are kind of bouncing between 6 on.
Yeah, I mean, every game is important, and certainly when you have an opportunity to play against opponents that you're vying for playoff implications, it is. And it's one game at a time for us, and focusing on the next opponent. And I felt like anytime we potentially had an opportunity, I mean, it was like a 5-point game with 7.5 minutes left. We had an opportunity to close the gap, and we just had some mental breakdowns that killed us and allowed them to go on runs. And so, we gotta learn from this one, and we gotta go into Phoenix, and we gotta be better. Thank you.
Golden State finished the game making 12 of 19 three-pointers and shot over 50% from the field, while the Fever could only manage 6 three-pointers on a 20% clip, finishing 32% overall. The loss also marked a clean sweep by Golden State in the regular season series, leaving the Fever behind in the standings despite a respectable 21-9 record. With Seattle in 6th at 22-9 and Golden State 7th at 21-18, Indiana now sits precariously in 8th, holding just a 2-game cushion over 9th-place Los Angeles Sparks, who have the head-to-head tiebreaker advantage. While winnable games remain against Phoenix, Chicago, Washington, and Minnesota, the Fever must perform flawlessly to secure a postseason berth. Head coach Stephanie White acknowledged the disruption's impact, citing the unprecedented first-half stoppages as disruptive to player readiness and game rhythm, adding that Indiana's tentative offense and defensive missteps contributed to the defeat. The team must now regroup quickly as they finish their road trip in Phoenix on Tuesday, knowing that each remaining game carries massive implications for their playoff survival. Indiana Fever fans, brace yourselves, the road ahead is far from easy.